because you start a business. You said you started your business out of necessity, which is
Yeah.
what I did as well. I started my business because I didn't know what else to do. And I was just like, I'm going to do some market research, which is not at all what I'm doing now. But I felt I was like, okay, I'm going to do this because I need to. And I didn't even know what I didn't know. So I just went
Right.
for it, had a friend create a logo for me and all the things that probably should be done professionally if you're like serious about your business. And then looking back, I'm like, well, I mean, it wasn't perfect, but it got me started. And knowing that most people who start a business probably won't continue on that same path. They're going to pivot or rebrand or create a new business or that kind of thing. So it's really interesting that we kind of share that.
Yeah, well, and I think we talked about pivoting last night as well, that it's okay to pivot, and it's okay that maybe your first business, was doing A, B, and C, but through the journey, you learn that you're really good over in the M and N category, right? And I think it's just part of the journey about being an entrepreneur. And I hope that I can encourage other people to pivot. If it's not great where you're at, that's okay. You got started, and maybe you've learned a new skill, or maybe you realize that you excel, like maybe speaking. Maybe you start as an entrepreneur, but you end up as this fabulous speaker, right? So I think that we should always be growing, learning, and pivoting in our businesses.
Absolutely. So tell me more about how you work with your clients and who you work with and what you really help them accomplish.
So the platform that I train on is LinkedIn. So whether you're a job seeker, a business owner, an entrepreneur, or a startup, y'all need to be on LinkedIn. I'm just going to put that out there. There's over 600 million people on LinkedIn. But what I love about LinkedIn is LinkedIn was built, it was created to connect people. That's it. It wasn't created as a job platform. It wasn't created as a business platform. It was created to connect people. And when you think about it, everything in life is about the relationships. Most people, you get a job by your network. Yes, you have to have a resume. Yes, you have to be on LinkedIn and you have to go through interviews. But I think it's over 50% of people actually land a job from their network. And the same thing with business owners. It's all about the know, like, trust factor. And we have to expand our networks. Like back in the day, we would not be having this conversation. I'm in San Diego, California, and you're in Canada.
Yeah.
So it's through the technology and social media, because a lot of people say social media has diminished relationships. I have to argue that it's how you use social media. So
Absolutely.
yeah, it's how you use social media. And is it enhancing your relationships? Is it increasing your network? And are you increasing your network in a valuable way, like we're doing,
Yeah.
right? Online, and then doing Facebook. And I'm sure that our relationship will continue to grow, and we'll continue to support each other through this entrepreneur journey. So I work with my clients on LinkedIn. Typically, like, we work for 3 months because LinkedIn's a complicated platform. There's a lot to it. I can't teach it to you in a day or a week or in 2 or 3 sessions. I want to teach people how to use it. So we do like a 3-month program of revamping everything together. So I have done with you services, right? I'm walking you through it, teaching you why we're doing things so that when we're done working together, you can fly, right? You can soar, you can continue to use LinkedIn. And then another way that I work with my clients is I have done for you services. Maybe you're a busy CEO, or your company you're traveling and speaking all the time. You know that you need a better profile, but you don't want to do it. So we do an intake session and we have some questionnaires. We'll do all the design work, run that by you. We'll even post it up for you and create like content. So there's done with you services, which is actually my favorite right now. Who knows what it'll be next year. Done for you services, and then my career coaching services, where we also do a 3 to 4 month program.
Got it. And there's a whole bunch of things I want to say about that, but
Okay.
I really love done with you services because I don't know about you, but I find that I get the best content from my clients when they are the ones really creating it, and I'm guiding them to understand what to create. If I just give them a page and say like, okay, go do this, well, then it doesn't happen. And if I do it completely, it never comes out as amazing as when they create, because they're the expert. They're the ones who know what they're talking about. I'm not an expert in insurance or in HR
Right.
or all the types of things my clients do. And they are, and they really sometimes undervalue that expertise and think, oh, I'm like, you're a social media strategist, so obviously you know what to say. Like, I don't know. You know.
Yeah, I think people really underestimate their own knowledge and they quiet their voice. And I can relate to that because when I first started, I'm like, well, who am I? Well,
Yeah.
what do I know? Right? There's, 500 people in California probably that do LinkedIn, right? But I teach it my own way. I have my own style and I do know LinkedIn inside and out. And if I don't know it, I'll tell someone I don't have that answer, but I'll find it for you. Right?
Right.
Because it's always changing.
Hmm. Yeah, and I think that there's something in the water in San Diego, because most social media marketers I meet are from San Diego. Look, what are you guys doing over there?
Well, it's not a bad place to live, right? Sunny San Diego, sunny and 75, except for right now it's overcast. We have June gloom. It's a great place to live. There's so much to do. So why not be a digital nomad and, you know, be based out of San Diego and travel where you want?
Yeah, I've been to San Diego twice, and both times are for social media marketing world. And the first year, last year, I think I really only saw the convention center and the hotel. I was staying at the Hyatt, so I just walked back and forth. And that's most of what I saw of San Diego. Although we did take a road trip out to Laguna Beach, which was
Ugh,
really surreal for me
I love
because,
Laguna Beach.
yeah, so for me, like California generally is something I've only seen on TV. I used to watch VOC as a teen, and it's kind of like if you had never been to New York and you're just watching like Sex in the City all the time, and then you go and you're like, wow, it's just like on
Yes.
TV.
Laguna Beach is my happy place. That is where my husband proposed to me because he
Oh,
knew that was like I just feel peaceful there. I used to put on a retreat every year there and I'd be like, oh, I love Laguna Beach. And so the surf and sand, Laguna Beach is my happy place. I love it. When you come to San Diego next time, are you coming next year?
I do intend on doing that.
Then we will definitely have to get together and I'll take you to a couple awesome spots in San Diego.
Yeah, I this year saw a bit more because I didn't stay right next to the convention center. I stayed a couple blocks away, so I had to walk there. And so I did a little tour, really just that gas
Yeah.
lamp quarter and just the things that are in walking distance of the convention center. And then I went out whale watching with a friend of mine.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, so I saw a little bit more, but I feel like I still didn't really see much of San
I
Diego.
always say San Diego is a big city, small town, and it's a
Mhm.
big city because there's so much to do. Within an hour's drive, you can be in the mountains. So there's just so much to do: the beaches and the mountains and the shopping and the museums and the parks and the beach. But I always say it's a small town because I always run into people that know someone,
Yeah,
right? So it's crazy. I love it. It's a beautiful city.
got it. All right, so let's get back on the topic of LinkedIn. What
Mhm.
is your philosophy when it comes to LinkedIn and growing your business with it?
Well, that's a big question. My philosophy or strategy, my philosophy is you should be on there. Even so, a lot of people say, "Well, Mary, I'm just a solopreneur. Do I really need to be on LinkedIn?" Yes. It's a free platform, at least for now, right? Doesn't cost us to be on there. It can be like a supplemental web page if you think about it. It's another online presence. And we all know that it takes like 12 touches, 12 marketing touches for someone to do business with you. Why not have LinkedIn be one of those touches? And on LinkedIn, you can actually drive traffic to your website. LinkedIn is actually known, the statistics, I believe, are LinkedIn drives 4 times more traffic to your website than any other platform if you're using it right. So my philosophy is get on there, one, to create a rock star profile
Mhm.
because it's all your profile is your foundation, right? So you're not going to build a house on a floppy or sad foundation. I don't want you to create I don't want you to have a bad profile and then be out there doing all this engagement and promotion and posting. And then people look at your profile and they're like, who's that person? Wow. They don't even have a picture and they don't have their summary up. So you really need to spend time creating a beautiful rock star profile. And that means filling out all the sections. And that means talking about yourself, writing in the first person, you guys, not the third person. Not Mary Fain Brandt is an expert in LinkedIn. I talk about the journey, like if you're struggling in your career or if you're a small business. So my philosophy is get on LinkedIn, spend some time creating a solid foundation with your profile. And the second step would to really be looking at your network. Who are you connecting with? Are you just connecting to connect? Why don't you make those strategic connections? And don't just think about clients. Think about connecting with people that you can partner with, that you can collaborate with, that will become one of your biggest fans or affiliate when you're launching a course or a book. So expand your thought process on who you're connecting with, and then really to come up with a content strategy. Just don't post to post. What's your content strategy and what's your call to action? Now, I don't want you to be on there selling every day. I don't want you to be on there selling every day. I don't want you to send in-mails that are pitching me. I just wrote a post about that. It got a lot of traction. I think I made like an image on Canva. I was like, don't pitch me in your first in-mail. And I called somebody out that did it. I didn't tag them, but I showed the in-mail they sent. My other philosophy is don't use automation. People ask me all the time. And I actually did a post like, here's 3 tools that automate, but I don't promote that. Yeah. Because it's against LinkedIn's regulations. They can shut you down. And it doesn't work, folks. People know it's automated because when you say no, thank you, and then you get another in-mail the next day, or you get a generic in-mail that says, oh, I see we have mutual connections. Let's connect. I don't know you. Don't send that, right? Personalize it. Remember that you are talking to someone on the other end. On the other side of that, the platform, there's a person. Talk to that person. So
right. And I think both that automation and the pitching are a huge problem. And don't people see that doesn't work? So, for example, a few weeks ago, I got a message, and it was from someone saying something yada yada about a training course about like some kind of exam to like become you write like an LSAT or an MCAT. It was something or like that, not one of those, but it was a training session, a prep session around that. And I said, no, thank you. I'm not writing that exam, and I don't ever plan on writing it. And then I got a response that was like, thank you for your interest in our thing. And then they sent me an email, and then they sent me another email, and they signed me up for something.
So you report them to, so when that starts happening, you delete them, you block them, and report them to LinkedIn. Yeah. You can do that all from the drop down on your profile page.
Yeah. So basically I said no, and they took me saying anything as a yes.
Because it's all automation. So AI is great. Like, it has its place. It has a purpose when used correctly, when you're transparent. Like, bots are great when it says like, my bot is, hi, I'm Blue, Mary's bot, right? Because blue is one of my favorite colors. So we named her Blue. But right from the beginning on my website, like, that's a bot that says, how can I help you? We know that. But on LinkedIn, I'm expecting that message to come from someone, not an automation. And so I'm teaching everyone the first time you get it. I used to take the time and say, hey, if you looked at my profile, I have a successful business. I'm not looking to join an MLM or, whatever team they wanted me to join. And somebody said, well, isn't that what LinkedIn's for? And I tried to educate this person. I was like, I'm done. So now when I get those in-mails like that, it's like delete, block, and if you spam me again, I'm going to report you to LinkedIn. And what's going to happen to those people? And unfortunately, they're being trained by other LinkedIn strategists or whatever they're calling themselves. Yeah, trainers. Yeah. Like LinkedIn trainer. There's so many LinkedIn trainers that have popped up now that LinkedIn is becoming that premier platform again. I'm just like, weren't you doing Facebook last week and now you're a LinkedIn strategist?
Yeah.
So people are training other people to do these automations. And I'm telling you guys right now, it's going to backfire because you're going to lose half of your network. I am deleting those people. I am blocking them. I will not do business with them. And I'm teaching and training that to my private community and my clients.
Right. And even yesterday,
Bad.
I get requests all of the time, as I'm sure you do too, but I got two messages. It wasn't even like, hello, I'd like to learn more about you. It was just, hey, I'm looking for people who want to increase their revenue. I'm a seven-figure seller, something or other, want to
I
hop on a
help
call.
coaches land 20 more clients per month. I'm like, yeah, I don't want 20 more clients per month right now. That's a lot of work for me. Um, so yeah, those automations, they're just awful. People quit using them. It's gonna like I'm not even lying. I know in 6 months you're gonna lose half your network because we're all getting tired of it.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And I don't see how people don't see that. Like, do people actually buy from those?
Well, there are people that people are training them that this is how to use LinkedIn. Set up like a message funnel. I agree with a message funnel having something created. So if someone says, once you create that relationship, right? Hey, would you mind taking a look at this article for me? Or, once you create that relationship, hey, I'm doing an online course if you know anyone who's interested. And having some of these messages created for you to use and customize, but not having it automated where you're not answering, you're replying to a message with the wrong answer.
Right. So, yeah, so let's talk about that where like just being yourself and building relationships on LinkedIn. I know that's something that you speak about a lot, and so do I, and it's really important to grow that know, like, and trust. So what are some examples of people doing that well?
So some examples are you want to be a resource for your network. You shouldn't be on there selling. I say it's 80-20.
Mhm.
80% of the time you're a resource. You're sharing other people's articles or posts. I share a lot of my hashtag job seekers, hashtag job seekers. Here's a wonderful opportunity. They're not my opportunities. It's a service I provide to my network. I share a lot of tech tips. Um, and promotion should only be 20%.
Mhm.
I share my Facebook lives because those are experts coming on my show, right? That have something that my audience needs. So I'll put up there when the shows are going live. That's it. I rarely do selling on there, but I get 80% of my career coaching clients from LinkedIn. 80%. And I probably get 10 to 15% of my LinkedIn, maybe 20% of my LinkedIn clients training from them. I get a lot of my LinkedIn clients really just from speaking and referrals. But they all go to LinkedIn and check me out because they all say, oh, I checked you out on LinkedIn. I looked at your profile and the services, and they're like, it's that know, like, trust. I have recommendations up there. Current recommendations, folks. So many times, right? They're like, well, I have recommendations. Yeah, they're 5 years old and they're not relevant to what you're doing now, right? So we have to make sure every year you should be getting new recommendations every year.
Got it. And if entrepreneurs are looking to get more recommendations, what's the best way to do that?
So the best way to get recommendations on LinkedIn, you need to know that you can only get recommendations from other people that are on LinkedIn. So if that person isn't on LinkedIn, you can't get a recommendation that way. But you need to tell the person what you want. I'd like to be recommended for these 3 things. Remember when, you landed that job or you came to me with low confidence, and when we were done working, you had found your voice. Tell them what you want to be recommended for, and you'll get that recommendation 10 times faster, and it'll be clear, because a recommendation that says Mary was great to work with, she was so friendly, always was present in our client sessions, that doesn't tell anyone what I did. That just is more of the personality, right?
Yeah.
You want to be strategic in your recommendations and have people talk about the services you provided and what the outcome was.
Got it. Now, what are your thoughts on a LinkedIn profile versus company pages? Because some people say, oh, you need a company page and you need to be posting to it. But in my experience, people on social media don't want to connect with brands, or they don't want to connect with businesses. They want to connect with other people. So how do we balance the two?
That's a great question. So you need both. I'm a firm believer that you have to have that rock star profile because LinkedIn requires that, and we're people. But even as a solopreneur, you need to have what's called now a LinkedIn page. They used to be called company pages. They changed the name a couple months ago to LinkedIn page. There's a couple reasons why you need that LinkedIn page. One, it's going to auto populate your logo over to your personal profile instead of that ugly gray box. And that just helps you look more credible and professional. Having a company or LinkedIn page, now I even say company page, having that LinkedIn page also increases your credibility and people can follow you there. It doesn't get a lot of traction, but they did just update those LinkedIn pages. You can have a call to action, register for a class, sign up for a course, go to my website. I think there's 5 drop downs now. And I believe that you should post to both because you don't know where people are going to see it. So the LinkedIn page, if someone's searching LinkedIn strategist, my company page will probably come up because of the keywords, right? Not everyone's connected with you on LinkedIn yet. So I am a firm believer of having both and posting. And it's funny because I'll get a notification like, oh, you have a comment on your LinkedIn page, or you got a few views. I don't get a lot of traction, but I do feel that it is important to have both.
Got it. And I noticed something the last couple days is when I connect with someone new, LinkedIn has been recommending their company page to me. So if I'll send a request, it'll say, oh, you should also like their page.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a new feature. I love that LinkedIn's doing that because why not? They might post articles there that aren't on their profile, or, you people might just go and check out the LinkedIn page versus, you can follow the LinkedIn page versus, the person. So I really, you guys just watch for all the new cool updates that LinkedIn is rolling out. They continue to revamp and to release new features. Of course, it takes a while. We all know, for those of us who are on LinkedIn, they don't roll out anything fast.
Yeah.
I'm still waiting for LinkedIn Live. If anybody is listening, I applied.
You know,
Um,
yeah, that's something I want to talk about as well. So yes, definitely. I think that those changes are giving us hints that we should be checking out pages because there's some changes to come. But let's talk about LinkedIn Live, because when they rolled this out in March or whenever it was,
right.
super exciting. I was like, oh, I want LinkedIn Live. Everyone who are like had it in the first 1 or 2 groups, they're getting tons of exposure,
I
and we're
know.
just like, what about us?
We'll get there. So there were 12 people at Social Media Marketing World, right? So Vivica von Rossen was there. She was talking about it and she didn't have it yet. Goldie Chan had it. There were 12 people that had it in March. And I was like, and they deserved it. Those were those LinkedIn influencers. I applied as soon as the application became live. You submit a resume and all that. Have you applied?
I did,
Yeah.
and this was a while ago, and I don't know if anyone in Canada has access yet.
Yeah. Well, don't worry. We're still waiting. I mean, a handful of people. I've seen some of my colleagues get it, and I'm like, yay for them. Sad for Mary. Um, I'm just being real, right? I'm like, yay, and then I'm like, why? But it will roll out. But as you probably know, and as I know, LinkedIn native video, when that rolled out, I actually got that early on, but other people didn't have it. It takes a while. LinkedIn rolls out new features slowly. I anticipate, probably not till the end of the year.
Yeah. It took me forever to get LinkedIn video. I think I was in the last group, and I don't know if it's a geography kind of
Yeah.
thing where Canadians are just like, whatever.
Aw.
But yeah, I was really excited once I got LinkedIn video, because I really do think that that changed the landscape of LinkedIn and gave it this boom that it seems to be
Right.
on.
And let's talk about video marketing, because this is all about marketing. We all know that video marketing is 80% of marketing efforts.
Mhm.
And they predicted that. I remember it was like, I was doing my monthly LinkedIn labs and I was talking about LinkedIn. And I think it was I stopped the LinkedIn labs in 2018. So it was probably 2017 that I was talking about video marketing, because video was still, you know, it was a couple of years ago. It was out, but it wasn't like now. And in my presentation, it said by 2020, video marketing will be 80% of marketing efforts. And I'm like, well, that revved up because that's already 80% of marketing. And video content on LinkedIn gets 50% higher engagement reach,
Mhm.
a higher reach and engagement. And 50%, you guys. So if you're not doing video, you need to jump on. That's all I got. Like, start doing video, start somewhere, answer the question that you always get asked. People are like, I don't know what to say. I'm like, do an introduction video,
Mhm.
do a on-site video if you're at a conference, or if you're meeting with a colleague and working on a project, do a quick video, show the behind the scenes, do the behind the scenes of your recording area. Um, and then, oh, I lost my train of thought. And answer like the top 5 questions that you always get asked. So
Right.
that's like 10 videos right there. I just gave you like a month of content.
Yeah. And I've recently ramped up my video strategy on LinkedIn, and it's some of those videos are getting 500 views without me
Ah,
doing anything. I just post it and people come in and do their things. Whereas on other sites, which we will not name, it's like pulling teeth trying to get anyone. It's like pulling teeth trying to get it like 10 views. So
yeah.
it really is a great place to be creating videos. It's a really great place to be if you're in B2B at all, really.
Yep. Um, and there's a lot of different ways you can use your video. Are you putting captions on your video?
These ones I'm not, just because
It's a
I
lot of
see the
work.
value in it and I think it's great, but it holds me back from like actually posting them. And to me, it's better like done than like not.
Yeah, I agree. I've been testing out probably 5 different captioning programs over the last 6 weeks. Haven't found one that I felt like, okay, this is easy enough to get it done, because even after you upload the captions, you have to edit it,
Yeah.
right? And I'm trying to have my VA do that. I just don't have the bandwidth. So we're working with a new program, Headliner, now,
Yeah.
testing that out to see, because I seriously think I've tried 5 different captioning programs.
Yeah,
And
I've used Headliner. It's pretty good, but I find they're all the same. Where some people, it picks up their voice and their words really well, and I don't know if I mumble through all of my words, but when I try to upload my own, nothing makes any sense, and
yeah,
it just takes me a long time to actually go through and make sure everything
I
is
know.
makes sense. So
But you know, we have to wrap our heads around doing that, because 80% of videos are watched with the sound off. And so if
yeah,
you don't have captioning, they're going to scroll through your video. So I get it. I'm at the same place, like, man, it just takes so long. And my Facebook live shows, those are an hour, 45 minutes to an hour
yeah,
long, because I just have such amazing guests and we just talk a lot. We provide a lot of value, but that's a long transcription.
yeah.
So maybe shorter videos caption.
Yeah, and for LinkedIn, I find what 2-3 minutes is
Mhm.
pretty
2 to
much.
3 minutes.
Yeah,
The longest you can do a video on LinkedIn is 10, but that sweet spot is 2 to 3 minutes.
yeah, that's how it is. Generally, unless you're doing a
Yeah.
live, and I think that that's enough time to really get out one main
Right.
point. You don't need to talk about 8 different topics under. Just create a second video or third video or fourth
Exactly.
video.
And that's what I always thought I had to talk longer to be seen as an expert, to be seen knowledgeable. I needed to talk longer,
Yeah,
where no, I need to just focus. I'm sharing one tip, break it out, 2 to 3 minutes.
yeah, yeah, definitely agreed. Yeah, it's so funny that 80% of content is video, but then 80% is watch without the sound. I'm like, why are people watching it?
I know. Well, because they're at work. Some
Yeah,
people are at work, or they're at a conference, or they're at a meeting, and they're like, oh, So if you can watch it with the captions on, you can determine, oh, this is something I want to watch.
Yeah.
And they can save it and they can go back to it. Without that captioning, they don't, they don't know if they want to watch it.
Yeah, kind of my way to address that without actually putting captions is telling the short story in the wording, the context, and captioning will come. But for now, I don't want it to be something that prevents me from actually posting videos.
Let me know if you find an awesome program that works. That's not hundreds of dollars.
Well, I know Rev.com will do it for like $1 a minute. And
that gets costly though.
Yeah, when you have 45 minutes and multiple times a week, it starts to be a bit, but that can be.
I know about Rev. There's Otter, there's Quick, there's Headliner. Literally, I think I've tried them all.
There's tons, and they're all the same thing. It's either you're paying.
And my name never comes out right. Mary Fain Brandt. It's never right.
Yeah.
LinkedIn is sometimes split up. So I think that one of the things that we have to do as video creators is we have to slow down our talk and enunciate our words if we want to be able to do the captioning with ease.
Yeah, I agree, because I've captioned videos for other people where it's either them or a guest, and it comes out really clear and it's fine. But for me and the way that I'm speaking, it's all jumbled. So that is a clue for me to be a bit more clear in my speech, I suppose.
Me too.
All right. So we're about to wrap up. Are there any final thoughts you want to leave with our audience?
So people tend to get overwhelmed with LinkedIn. So my whole thing is bite-sized tips for busy entrepreneurs, serving up the bite-sized tips so you don't get overwhelmed. You don't have to spend hours on LinkedIn. So people are like, oh, you must be on LinkedIn all day because you're a LinkedIn strategist. No, I spend on some days only a half an hour, but I usually spend about an hour, and I split that up. Okay. So I'll do 20 minutes in the morning, 20 minutes in the afternoon, 20 minutes in the later afternoon or evening. So, if you can crank out an hour a day, you're going to be great.
Is that spent creating content, engaging, or both?
Yeah, I'm sure it's all of that.
Got it. All right. So where can our audience find out more about you?
LinkedIn. No, or my website, which is just my name. If you just search Mary Fain Brandt, I should come up on everything. My website there. I have a free LinkedIn audit checklist that you guys can grab. I'd love, it's got some tutorial videos, just some easy settings to optimize your profile. And I would love for you to join my private Facebook group, The LinkedIn Bakery. We don't post every day in there. I don't like those groups. I'm sorry, but posting every day freaks me out because I think I need to engage. This group is seriously just to support you, to share LinkedIn tips, to grow your network with other savvy business professionals, and it's free. So come join us now while it's free.
Got it. Well, thank you so much for joining me, and we'll see you on social media and next year in California.
In person. Thank you so much for having me, and everyone have a great day and make LinkedIn the best that you can. Spend 20 minutes a day starting off.